Hey guys, it's Lady Lynn here from thehairbowmaster.org. I've got another great tutorial for you. I'm going to show you how to take scraps of ribbon left over from other projects and turn it into a beautiful flower hair bow that looks like this. The items you're going to need are 2 different colors of ribbons. Make sure that the pieces that you use are at least 2.5 inches long. These are 3/8 inch wide grosgrain ribbons. We're going to need a hot glue gun, an alligator clip for the back, 3 different sizes of felt circles. We've got a small one that's about 3/4 of an inch. This one's about 1 inch, and this one's about 1.5 inches wide. Then you'll want a embellishment for the center, and if you want, as you can see, I've got the little half pearls right there and 2 little rhinestones there. So I've got 16 of the rhinestones and 8 of the halfback pearls, since we're going to be making 8 petals. I've also got a pair of tweezers that have the little gripper things inside, and those just make it easy to grip these little pieces here. As well, I've got a candle here and a lighter. If you don't have a candle, it's okay. This lighter here is one of those push down lighters. If you're going to just use a lighter, I recommend one of these, because then you're not constantly turning the lighter thing and hurting your fingers. But I really recommend using a candle, especially when you have a bunch of little pieces like we're going to have in this project. It makes it much easier to seal the ends of the ribbon. Okay, so you'll want to pick 2 different colors. Here I've chosen white and hot pink, and we're going to cut 16 of each color, and they're going to be 2.5 inch strips. So take your scissors and go through your strips and cut 16 of each color into 2.5 inch strips. Just like this. And see, these, this mat is really good. I like these if you can get one, because each of these squares represent 1 inch, and it makes it a lot easier to cut things and measure things. Just like that. Okay, so cut 16 of the one color and 16 of your other color, and then I'm going to show you how to seal the ends, okay? Okay, so now we've got 16 of each of our colors cut here, and we're going to go ahead and take our lighter and our candle and seal these ends. So go ahead and light your candle. And when you're sealing these ends, you're going to want to make sure that the ends of the ribbons go through the bluer part of the flame, so that you don't get black marks on your ribbon, and so that the ends will melt. And you're just going to run it through very quickly through that bottom part of the flame, just like this. And what that does is it melts the end just enough that they no longer will fray, okay? And do that to both sides of each and every one of your ribbons, which you should have 32 pieces total. So go ahead and do that, and I will finish sealing mine, and then we'll go on to the next step. Okay, all of the ends of my ribbons are now sealed. I've got 2 little nice piles here. We're going to start making our petals, and for each petal, which we're going to have 8 of, we need 2 of each color ribbon. So get 2 pieces of the one color and 2 pieces of your second color. And we can put these ones aside. And we're going to go ahead and put together our petals. Alright, so start with 1 of each color. And what I like to do is, see how the ribbon kind of curves? I like to make sure that all the ribbons are both, curving the same way. So all of these, I'm going to make sure that they curve down. And we're going to start with the one on the right going over top of the one on the left here. And it's very important to make sure that all of your petals are made the exact same way, so that when you put your petals together, they look right and they go well together. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some glue right across the top here and stick this one to it to where we have a nice little right angle. Just like that, okay? And then to make your checkerboard, you're going to take your second piece of the white and put it over top, just like this. Since this one is behind, we're going to put this one over top. Again, making sure that your curves are all the same. So starting underneath this one to about 3/8 inch so that you have good coverage so that there's no pieces sticking up, go ahead and put some glue and then tack down your second white piece like this. Okay, now we're going to put on our last little piece here, and we're going to put this underneath the first one and over top the second one here so that we have a checkerboard. And then we're going to tack that down. So we're going to turn this over and tack this down. And remember which side is your back side and which side is your front side, because on this next step, if you have them backwards, you're going to put the petal together upside down. So I'm working on the back here, so make sure I turn it back over. And now I'm going to tack this one to here. Just put a little bit of glue right underneath here. Tack that one down. Just like this. So now we have this little V type shape with two colors this way and the other two colors going this way. Just like that. Okay, now what we're going to do is take these two centerpieces, and since this one is over top here, we're going to put it back behind the white one like this, and we're just going to tack the corners together. So on this bottom left corner, go ahead and just put a dab of glue there and then stick the other corner right to it. Just like that. Then we're going to take this pink one and we're going to line it up along with this one, and it's going to overlap this white one just a touch. Put the glue all along the bottom there and then overlap it just like this, lining those bottom parts up. And we're going to do the same thing to the white one. Put the glue all across the bottom here. Take this other white one and put it even with the other one. And that's it. That's our petal. We're going to make 8 of these, just like that. And then once we got all the petals made, I'm going to show you how to assemble them together on your felt pieces. Okay, so go ahead and put together 7 more of these petals. And if you need to, you can rewind the video and watch the part again to see how to put them together until you've got it down. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and make the other 7 of my petals, and then I'm going to show you the next step. Okay, now I have all 8 of my petals done. And we're going to take our larger felt circle here. We're going to work in 2 different layers. So take 4 of them, and we're going to take 4 and do 1 right here, 1 directly across from it, 1 up, and 1 down. Okay, so you're going to go in on your felt piece probably about 1/4 of an inch. And what you're going to do is you're going to turn your petal piece over to where the curved part is like a little boat here, and put some glue right across the bottom here, and then stick it onto your felt circle. Like I said, probably about 1/4 of an inch in, just like that. Take your next petal and we're going to go directly across from it, putting glue right across the bottom here and sticking it directly across from the other one. Take your third petal, put some glue across the bottom, stick it right here to this top part, and then your last petal is going to go on the bottom part. Like so. Okay, now we're going to take our other 4 petals and we're going to stagger them. We're going to put each petal in between these other petals, just like this. So once again, turn it over, put some glue across the bottom, and stick it right in between these two petals, with the white being on the pink being on the white, like that. And go on the other side, put the next petal on. Same thing, stagger them, put it right in between. And then we've just got two more to put on. Glue across the bottom here. Stick it in between. That little guy's back a little too far. Okay, there we go. And then put your last petal on. And you can see where you've already got the base of our flower here. Get all the little glue pieces off there. Alright, so you should have a circle of petals just like this now. Alright, so the next step that we're going to do is we're going to take our middle-sized felt circle, make sure that it's the right size for this center here. It should just go a little bit over these so you can hide all the little raw ends like that. And if you need to, you can take your lighter and go across the edges here to make them real smooth so that they don't have little frayed pieces sticking up, okay? So put some glue on the back part of your felt circle here. Cover it pretty good, and we're going to stick it right in the center. Just like that. And that's going to cover all those raw ends. Now we're going to go ahead and put our centerpiece on, so get your centerpiece out. And we're going to stick it right on top of the felt circle. Now you don't have to put the felt circle in the center if your centerpiece, your embellishment, is large enough to cover all those raw edges. And you don't have to use felt either. You can also use satin. Just cut a circle of satin or even grosgrain, and make sure you seal the ends and put it on there. It's just whatever you think looks good for you. And then we have that. And if you want to, you can add more embellishments to it. You can do something like, you know, put some pearls on the edges here to cover some of the felt. I mean, it's just whatever you want to do. Just whatever feels right. Alright, I'm going to show you now how to put your back on. You got your alligator clip and your smaller circle of felt here. And what you're going to do is put it in between here. Just like this. And make sure that the curved part is up like that and this flat part is down when you put your glue on. So put your glue all around this circle here. And then just stick it right to the back and try to center your alligator clip in the back here. Just like that. And it makes it so much easier to do it in this way than to just put glue directly on your alligator clip and then try to hold it open and not have it stick. Again, you can use satin or grosgrain even. You don't have to use felt. And you can use French clips. I mean, any kind of clip that you want to put on there, you can pretty much do all of them the same way. The French clip you'll just want to take apart and then put it back together after you get the felt circle over it. Okay, so our basic flower is done, and the only thing left to do is put on our bling. And like I said, on this part, it's just your imagination, whatever you want to do. I've chosen to do the pearls and the rhinestones. And I'm going to go ahead and use the hot glue on these ones. You can use different kinds of glues depending on which kind of embellishments you use. And you can use gem tack. That's a really good one for putting these on. You do have to wait for them to dry though. So I like to use the hot glue because it cools right away and everything stays stuck. And I'm just going to put a little half pearl right in the center part right up here on the tip. And then I'm going to put my two rhinestones on either side by putting just a small dot like that. Use your tweezers pick them up and just stick it right there. And then pull off these extra little strings that come off the glue. And then do that to each and every one of your petals so that they're all even. And then we are done with our project. Let me just put this last one on here if I can get it. Doesn't want to cooperate today. There we go. So that's how all the edges are going to look. I'm going to do all the edges just like that so that it looks like this. And as you can see on this one, I didn't put the felt circle in the middle because I had these in far enough that this outer rim went ahead and covered those raw edges, so I didn't have to put the felt circle on there. I wanted to show you both ways just in case, because when you're a beginner, sometimes you don't get this middle part in far enough, and maybe your embellishment's not large enough to cover all of that. So you have that option of putting a piece in between there. But when you're all done, it should look like this, and what you've made this out of is just the little pieces that you have left over from making other bows. So instead of throwing those pieces away, go ahead and keep those and make some more of these. Alright, that's it. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope that you'll subscribe to my channel and keep an eye out for more tutorials. And if you would like, you can go to my website. It's at thehairbowmaster.org, and I also have a do-it-yourself site that is diy.thehairbowmaster.org. Thank you for joining me today, guys.